That remember May 2020?
Yeah.
Insane that was.
The world was gonna end.
And people were looting and protesting and freaking out and joining cults. Now they laugh, but back then they were all losing their minds. And I was, kind of alone, isolated, talking about this. They called me crazy. And now they all know that I'm right. And people don't look at me and say, hey, you were right and I was retarded enough. They should. I've been vindicated about a lot of, I enjoy sitting on these podcasts now because as time goes by, I keep being vindicated.
I mean, sometimes when you're too early, I think Fuentes is in a similar boat. He was right so early that people just don't recognize it now.
I think people are starting to recognize like what we've done. I've been talking about Israel since like well before October 7th. And now there's like a mass awakening. Everybody is speaking about it. It's no longer taboo.
Yeah.
And I'm not a political commentator. I'm just a YouTuber. I was a guy making, edits and filming. And I just got tired of seeing what was happening. And I started speaking up about AIPAC. And then I took a lot of hits. I lost everything. I lost my livelihood. I got banned everywhere. But, I think that more people, especially because you see all these streamers yell, free Palestine. But from who? I want them to follow up because it's become this slogan and they like saying it. It's kind of this cool thing. They'll get W's in the chat. But free Palestine from who?
Yeah. From
what? Like, what's the do they know anything else? Because I explained why and who and what was going on. And I'm not an expert or political commentator, but it's just not that hard to connect the dots or look into this stuff. And it's the most important subject. So if I lost everything, and at this point, I'm probably never going to be unbanned. It's not something that I've come to terms with it.
You've given up on it?
I mean, there's no point in, I've tried. What else is there to do?
Yeah.
I've reached out to people. It's just, and even then, the fact that I'm still here and I'm still in this content creation space after 3 years of being banned everywhere, literally, got my Twitter back, but being banned everywhere, I survived it. I was able to beat it. So I want to see those other streamers now who say free Palestine explain from who, because I can. You have to free it from the Jewish ethno state of Israel that controls our government, that's committing a genocide in the Middle East, that has blackmailed our government through Epstein, that probably did 9/11, and more people are going to learn about that as time goes on. I want to see them get into that a little bit more, instead of just using this as a slogan.
I feel like most people, like the average person, is just not doing the research you are, though, to be honest.
It's not even that much research. And especially if you have a voice and a platform, the problem is content creators don't feel responsible enough to do any research at all. Like the NELK boys can sit down exactly like this with Benjamin Netanyahu and ask him about Burger King or McDonald's. And when they get pushback, they bring me on, they bring others on to, kind of calm the storm.
And it worked?
No, it didn't.
You don't think it worked?
No, I don't think so at all. I almost feel bad for them. And then you're reminded that they are in their 30s still calling themselves the NELK boys. I mean, I like them. I'm friends with some of them. But they should take responsibility to learn about this stuff instead of just doing brain rot content. Because all these content creators now, I don't want to like subliminally diss you. I don't know if you take a gambling deal, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, they all take gambling deals. They make a lot of money they take percentage off OnlyFans girls. They promote absolute slop all the time. They get extremely rich off of it, and they spend it doing nothing with it and not promoting anything good or caring about their audience that they promote this to. So you should feel an equal amount of responsibility if you're going to go and put slop into their brains, gambling, prize picks, all this bullshit, to try to learn a little something to use your platform for some good. Or else you're going to sit next to Benjamin Netanyahu and look like an idiot in front of the whole world. I mean, I'm sorry. I like those guys, but that was absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right? He's been committing a genocide for several years now, and all his talking points on his podcast have been debunked. He's lying to your face and using your platform to promote the genocide he's committing. Take some responsibility to learn about this stuff. I'm not an expert. I was a YouTuber. I was an editor who made, videos that people call philosophical. Then I just looked at Wikipedia. I connected the dots. I listened to the politicians that we give our tax money to. And I figured it out. So do some research, do a little bit, watch a YouTube video.
Yeah. They got handed a list of questions for that interview, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Mossad was in there. It's been, if that there was edits in the video and they told me, I told them first, I'm like, yeah, Mossad was definitely in the room. You understand? They're like, no, it was just 20 HR people. Yeah, no, those were people that work for Benjamin Netanyahu, that was intelligence. CIA was there too. I hope you know that.
So CIA is tight with Mossad like that?
Well, if you look at the creation of the CIA, it's very similar to Mossad. It was created 1 year before. And especially for interviews like that, if it's in Washington, D.C. and you have the most hated world leader in the world, of course CIA is going to be there.
I just saw some photo. This war is the most journalists have died in this war in all of history.
2 days ago, IDF killed 4 journalists.
Crazy. 600, I think, now is the total count.
600
Above
total?
600 total journalists.
Yeah, 4 just 2 days ago. And even when you have this conversation, Zionists will still fall back in the October 7th argument. It's like, how many more journalists, children need to be starved? How many more need to die for you to feel adequate with the balance? Like, at what point is it just ridiculous? Like, this is past any sort of, there's no justification.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing the October 7th talking points.
They need something else, right, at this point?
Because no one buys it anymore. I mean, just like everybody is waking up. And part of I guess the frustrating part on my end is seeing people say, oh, like you could have done more. You could have done more, Sneako. And it's like, what did you do? I was there a year before October 7th on Ye 24 talking about how AIPAC needs to get out of America. That's the biggest lobby in this country. And I was working on a political campaign for that, even as a YouTuber. The year after I said Free Palestine, the day October 7th happened, I was there with Ye in Spain for 5 weeks while he was doing the most controversial song of all time. I was talking about this when you weren't allowed to speak about it, when you were called an anti-Semite, called a conspiracy theorist for insinuating Israel had too much control in this country. And it's just frustrating that I don't think that I get the credit I deserve for this, and also being right about the main things that I was banned for. I remember being called insane for insinuating that Chris Tyson, well, just saying Chris Tyson was a pervert. That's probably because trans people and LGBT people, they have a high rate of being, they're already perverts and they're normalizing it. He's putting it in these videos. That's the #1 YouTube channel in the world that majority children watch. This guy's a pervert, and I know him. Yeah. And I know that this is a disgusting ideology, should not be seen by children. People looked at me, and at big influencer events, I was at the UFC, and all these people were saying, oh, you're obsessed. Oh, it's just, you hate this. People are like, no, I'm trying to tell you what's going on. Then I was vindicated. Then Chris Tyson was outed was vilified on the internet. Nobody talks about him anymore. They kind of just shoved it under the rug. But nobody apologized to me for being right and being the only one speaking about it. Everybody wanted the collaborations with Mr. Beast so much. They didn't say something that was blatantly obvious. They'd make like maybe a side eye. But if you spoke and you explained what was happening, because that's what they do. They'll make a little side eye, right? If a couple of years ago I would talk about George Floyd dying from a fentanyl overdose, like, whoa, kind of like half agreeing, not agreeing. Then I'm right, but they don't go back. So it's frustrating that now the widely accepted ideas that have been normalized in conversations everywhere, people don't give the people credit for being first, or the first person who to kick the domino.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.